That's it.
Hey, Podcast America. Welcome to episode, I think this is 56 of the Enlightened Neanderthals podcast. And we'll talk about my own company, Training Northwest. We're getting close to the rifleman camp now. There are still, I want to say, 4 or 5 spots available. It's a 3-day immersive course in skill level 1 infantry tasks, which is what I think you need to be able to consider yourself a modern day Minuteman, which we talked about a few episodes back.
Yeah.
Electric North, pantheon of podcasts. Mike.
I'm going to start Will No-Tell, Patriotic Islander.
Jordan.
Chrissy Campbell and Coffee Talk.
Danny Leyland and the White Belt Mafia.
Greg. Let's go, Greg.
This is Coach Greg.
Yeah, Coach Greg. Endless Endeavor.
Where else are we at?
Stones and Bones, baby.
Oh, yes, sir. Mr. Tyler Stanaway. And he's got the Stones and Bones and the golly, Jordan. I got it. It is the Compassionate Viking. We do these at the end of these podcasts, and I'm looking at a lot of beer cans in front of me right now, boys. So don't judge me right now. But yeah, Stones and Bones, Tyler Stanaway, the Compassionate Viking.
Listen to all of them because you're probably awake like 23 hours a day, and you've got nothing else to do.
Enough time to fit them all.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. Yeah. We sit in so much traffic. These motherfucking liberals, dude.
There
Sorry.
it is. What did we talk about today, Jordan?
We talked about reanimating extinct animals. So
you tried to. I want to say this. I'm mad at you guys for not coming to the table with enough gusto on this subject. This is something Kozak takes serious.
Yeah.
And I've read and thought a lot about. So we're going to say this is part 1.
Part 1.
But for part 1, I think we talked about what bringing animals back to life could mean for like the environment, as for social economic things like hunting, for what I said was game management. Did I say game management?
Gay management. Yeah, gay management.
A saber-tooth tiger.
Grizzly bears are great for managing gays.
Yeah, dude.
Of all the gay bears, grizzlies are the most dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not only will they fuck you in the bathroom of the nightclub, they'll kill you too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I heard polar bears are the most hated though because they're white.
I got one intro.
Anyway,
it's an educational show, guys. Enjoy it.
Yep. All facts, no feelings. They were like, "Hey, we're gonna bring you back here." And he's talking to 3 of us. And we're all like, bright-eyed, like, oh, okay, let's go. And he was like, a kid pulled a TV onto herself. So a TV smashed her.
Dope.
She's got brain swelling, so we need to drill a hole to relieve pressure.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh shit. He's like, okay, well, where's this at? And then one guy is like ushering us into the room and like standing us over here, and he was like, here's the deal, if you guys feel squeamish or like dizzy or anything like that, leave immediately. And
this is not what I expected when I signed up for community college.
Yeah, you need to grab onto somebody and grab one of the 3 of you. You guys are together. If you feel it, grab them. Grab somebody. If you feel, you don't have to say anything, just grab somebody. And so it's like they can grab you and take you out and make sure, because if you get dizzy and you pass out,
hit your head. Now
we got to worry about you and not what we're doing here. Yeah. So, which makes absolute sense.
You're stealing. That's why you don't let family in.
Yeah. So there's this girl and she's getting her head drilled, and before that happens, right? Before that happens,
I'm sorry.
One guy's like, "Get them out of here," and he was like. So we were like, oh, I guess we can't be in here. So we kind of move around, and the guy kind of just shoves us around the room and pulls us up to the other side of the room. And this is before anything happens. And then he's like, no, get them out of here. You guys cannot be in here. And we were like, what the fuck? And so we just got pushed out, and nothing ended up happening. So I didn't get even, and that was the closest thing to actually doing or seeing anything
Did
crazy.
you do 1 day only?
It was 10 hours, yeah.
10
it was
hours
10
in
hours
one
on, 10 hours on, what was it? Like midnight or 8 o'clock. It was late night.
Yeah, that's
to
the
early
best
morning.
time. That's when you want to be.
When all
On the
shit
4th of
happens.
July.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I was expecting
Jesus.
some cool shit
Yeah,
to come in.
Where's your
Nothing.
stump? Yeah.
There was there was one guy, there was one kid who he got a new truck and he was camping with his brother, and I think it was a manual, and he was having a hard time getting up this hill and out of the spot. So he was all nervous about it, and he was like, you do it. So he had his brother fucking try and drive up out of this campsite, and his brother like was having a tough time too with this manual. So he's kind of trying to get in between a tree in his truck because it's a brand new truck and doesn't want to have it smashed.
Yeah.
And his brother kind of like drives up and like lets off the clutch, and it starts going back, and he puts his hand in between the truck and a tree to try and save his truck and smashes his hand, and his fingers just all looked like overcooked hot dogs.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I think I don't know if it was his pointer and his middle finger were just blown up.
Yeah.
And like they were split and all swollen, and
Fuck.
so
And now that
Yeah.
truck has 200,000 miles on it. And
just beat to shit.
And a handprint in the side of the bed.
Still some blood on it. Like, yeah. But he was calm as a cucumber in there. He was like, yeah, I smashed my fingers, and we were just like, dude, you're an idiot, dude.
Yeah.
Another guy was in there limbing a tree, and he was using a chainsaw, and he was on a ladder at the trunk of the tree, leaned out to cut a branch, and he was using a right hand chain, or like he's got a chainsaw in his right hand. He's got his left hand. He reaches out and grabs the branch to lean a little bit further.
When it falls?
No, and he goes to cut the tree, and the chainsaw bounces, and then bounces and lands on the back of his hand, and he chainsaws the back of his hand.
Oh, where all the tendons are? That's a
Didn't nick
naughty one.
one.
oh, seriously?
What?
Yeah, it cut the
Was
back.
he using an Echo?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a doll ass bullshit chainsaw, dude.
Come on, get a husky or a
Yeah, no,
fucking
dude.
steel.
It was probably electric. The pussy. So he cut the back of his hand open, just the skin, and you could see all of the tendons in the
Oh,
back
shit.
of his
It's
hand.
like looking at the Terminator
Just
hand.
cuts
Yes,
the first
and he would move it
layer
around,
of
and you
tissue,
would see
yeah.
the tendons flexing.
That's crazy.
And then when he would relax them, they wouldn't be round; they would flatten out.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So they opened it up really big and looked at the back of his hands and had him move it a little bit. And like the doctor's like, move your fingers. And he kind of like looks up at me. He's like, gives me like a fucking cool, huh? And I'm like, oh shit. And the guy's just kind of, you know, kind of a nerd, just sitting there like wiggling his fingers. And, yeah, he ended up just sewing them back up. He looked at one. I think one of them got nicked just barely, and I don't remember if he ended up putting a stitch in it or just said it's going to be fine, like whatever. I can't remember. And then started stitching it back up.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and it was just from like his pinky to his thumb, just across his whole hand like that. And he was like, that is freaking nuts.
I guess there's more meat there than towards the knuckles more, where the skin gets real thin. Like here, at least there's a little bit of meat.
Yeah, it was almost like diagonal. Like if you're at the back of your hand is like a diver's fleck. You know what I mean? That's how it was cut.
Makes my body tingle thinking of like doing that.
There was
One, I wouldn't, but two, like putting yourself in that situation where it's like you're limbing your tree and you got everything done and you're on like your last one. You're just like, I'm gonna get this, and reach out far and doom doom, blade jumps. Next thing you know, baby, start the car, grab my jacket.
we gotta go.
We're going to the doctor. Field trip.
Yeah.
There was an Asian guy there who I kind of liked him, but high as fuck. And he looks at me and he's like, "You like shrimp fried rice?" And I was like, "Oh my god,
Hell yeah,
is it
brother.
racist if I say yeah?"
Yeah.
I'm looking at this guy, and he's kind of strapped to this bed, and he's saying all this weird shit and looking at me, and I was like, what the fuck's going on here? And they were like, he came in, and they brought him in on a stretcher and like kind of set him up, and then they started telling me what happened, and you're like, this guy smoked sherm, which is a cigarette dipped in embalming fluid.
Yeah.
Just
And
like
was
some
smoking
bath salt kind of shit that makes you out of your mind.
out of his mind. And they found him in the middle of an intersection in downtown Seattle, and he was like smacking cars, and then he like ran towards a they like, because they got a call that was like, there's a guy going nuts in the middle of this intersection and like hitting cars and kicking them and all this other shit. And then a cop car comes, and the cop car's driving, and he ran to the cop car and tried tackling it and got knocked out.
Good.
And they fucking put him in handcuffs and took him, they got him all fucking situated, put him in a gurney and fucking,
Earlier when you were talking about those axis deer and Greg's stories, and I was thinking like, man, I want to tackle an axis deer and stab it. But as I was sitting there thinking about it while you were shooting your bow, it crossed my mind that I might get absolutely waylaid if I try to, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be worth a shot, but there's a 50-50 chance that deer just fucking destroys me.
Yeah, you hope
That's
it's
why you
a
go
doe.
for a doe. Yeah. You don't want to mess with
fawn.
those horns.
Yeah,
A fawn? Yes, yearlings only. Or less.
Yeah, just trip it.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I killed Bambi.
I got twice the chances. But yeah, that was crazy to see that guy like just high as shit.
Well, he's not crazy if he knows shrimp fried rice is awesome. He's still making a little bit of
he's
sense.
still
connecting
first
a
of
few
all.
It's like it all checks out. It all checks out. And there was a giant dude in there in a handcuffed to a gurney.
Yeah.
In a orange jumpsuit, and he came from Monroe, the prison, and it was just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And he was like sitting on the bed. He looked like he was 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
There's this massive guy, and it's like, I hope they have that guy on some shit to keep him calm.
Yeah.
Like, because if he gets crazy, I think I might be the only one in here that can try and help, and it ain't gonna work out.
Dude, when I went to get my last knee surgery, I went to check in, and in front of me, like, I'm checking in, and right as I go up to the receptionist, a guy in an orange jumpsuit with a guy on each side, and the guy in the jumpsuit's wearing the handcuffs. Of course, he's like an inmate, same thing. And like, just as I'm walking up to be like, "Hello, ma'am, I want my knee fixed," like they just like cut in front, and they're like, couldn't really hear him, but it's like they want him in and out, and so they went and they stood in the corner, and then I go. And I go up to the lady, and I tell her, check in. I'm here for my knee surgery. And she's like, go take a seat. And I go take a seat. I start looking at a magazine, and I notice the guy in the jumpsuit with the guards, nothing's really happening. Someone else comes out and to talk to him, and then they just point, like, to the waiting area. And then next thing you know, I'm sitting face to face in the waiting area, waiting for knee surgery. And there's a guy in a big jumpsuit, huge guy, prisoner with two dudes armed next to him.
Hey, boy.
And it was just a weird, like, we're both here for the same thing, but
like, what are you in for?
You're in chains.
What are you in for?
Yeah.
A knee surgery.
Dude, but it was funny though, because like, you're just like you catch eye contact and just. And I didn't know what pointing in his throat meant.
No, maybe he's there for throat surgery.
Something.
Yeah, cat's got his tongue. Fucking tell me, pussy.
Or he's like, I'm going to throw fuck you. But it was very odd. But it struck me weird because I was in my own mindset of, I'm going to this hospital to get this surgery done.
This prestigious hospital.
Dude, but then this guy from prison's like, it's my day out. I'm going to get surgery done. And he's in the waiting room.
I wonder if that's like a field trip for them.
Boy.
Like, hell yeah, we get to get out of there for 24 hours, go to the hospital.
Hang out for a little bit.
Yeah.
See some shit.
Yeah, drive down the freeway, look around.
A nurse.
Hot chicks.
A nurse.
Hopefully. You're like, can we just like make sure it's a nice day? Like, schedule my surgery for summer. Like
July 17th only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're going to fuck yourself up, that's the time to do it. Could you imagine like going in, all these chicks, you're trying to get a candor and Everybody's in parkas. Fuck.
Middle of
They're
winter.
all sweatshirts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
This is my first time I've been out of prison in 14 years. And everybody's wearing parkas.
Dude, you come out of prison with a fetish for North Face jackets. You're like, it's all I can think about.
Oh, she looks so good.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you start looking up Eskimos all the time. Anywho, so welcome to today's podcast, I guess. Yeah. We were going to talk about
revival of extinct species.
Yeah.
What brought that up? Was it
The
just
extinction.
that? Was it that?
Let's say the movie Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm reading a book, and I'm listening to a book, and they're talking about bringing back woolly mammoths, and then that's an actual thing that like there's articles that are actually talking about bringing back woolly
that one you
mammoths.
sent us was from like the Smithsonian or
It's
Of
been,
Science or
this
something
is
like
not
that.
a new thing, gentlemen.
No,
This
certainly
is
not.
They've
Certainly
been,
not.
and
But the
they've-
company down in Dallas
technically
that's doing it,
they've said they've had the ability to do this for a while.
Yeah,
This isn't brand
yeah.
spanking new.
no, certainly
But-
not. But how fun?
I've seen Jurassic Park, dude. That was the 1990s.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening in this book is that they bring back woolly mammoths and they let people, and they're like, it's like they're not bringing back the dinosaurs, but they're bringing back like,
The herbivores, hopefully.
well, they're bringing back like extinct deer and woolly mammoths and ice age type shit.
Where are they going to put them?
I think they were on an
The
island.
land where we are. That's how it works.
Yeah, I think they were on an island kind of situation, but then all of a sudden there's these mines in this book, and they're talking about all these different spots that like, or I'm sorry, it wasn't an island; it was just like in the middle of some spot in like I want to say Colorado.
Is this fiction?
It is fiction.
Okay.
It is fiction, but they started talking about these mines and how deep they run, and there's multiple different, like 3 huge mines, but they all kind of blended together. And in the middle of it, they find Neanderthals
Oh.
because they fucking brought back Neanderthals
Living in a mine.
because there was a murder,
Mole people.
and they're wondering what the hell is going on because these Neanderthals started like murdering people,
Oh.
and yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Well, hang on.
Sure.
I was.
Shout out. What's the book called?
I'd have to look it up.
I really love it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
hang
about
on,
to say
hang
something
on.
about the hunting possibilities and like what you could charge people for a woolly mammoth hunt if you were that company. But let's go a step further and think of what you could charge for a Neanderthal hunt.
Do you think you would actually hunt Neanderthals though?
The
I
ultimate
don't
prey.
know.
Could you do it?
No.
I
I
couldn't
don't want
do
to
it.
shoot people.
I wouldn't
don't
even
wanna
shoot
a
coyotes
monkey.
unless they're in the chicken coop. So.
Oh,
No,
I'll shoot a
coyote.
coyote for yeah, without question. Just
It makes them stronger
just to
in
see
my
him
heart.
fucking wiggle. No, I'm just joking. That's how terrible is that?
Hang on. So this has been proposed for a long time. And one of the aspects they say that this can really work, and this is like for all your people that are like climate change is real. One of the biggest ideas or the proponents for why they should bring woolly mammoths back is that they think that losing roaming herds of animals, buffalo, mammoths, stuff like that tramples grass and makes it grows. When that doesn't happen, that suppresses activation, the stressors of the grass in forestry, and that reduces carbon, whereas actually that increases carbon. What you want is that ground to be constantly worked and stuff. If you think of the Great Dust Bowl, what died like 20 years before it?
The grass,
dollar.
the
30.
the grass, and the buffalo.
The buffalo. And that was what's roaming. The idea, and this has been proposed for woolly mammoths, is that we breed them and we put them in Canada a lot, in Northern America, and have them tromp through the forestry and stuff like that and help it decompose and grow fast. I mean, you guys are looking at me like I'm nuts, but there's tons
hang
of
on.
articles.
I have a couple thoughts. One is that
We can't keep
you
a
ha-
fucking elephant alive.
Yeah, right.
Let's
You've got
bring
all
back
the
these.
fucking.
But a woolly mammoth is
You've got all
more
the climate
set.
change alarmists screaming that cattle are causing climate change, but now they want to bring back a packet like a giant fucking woolly mammoth, and
I
that's
love
supposed
it.
to
Do it.
help the climate. Like, obviously, it's bullshit that cow farts cause the atmosphere to change.
But
It's just sort of funny that the same people who are.
But
like,
if we put an electric tag in their fucking ear, it's going to help somehow. Fuck
exactly.
you.
Yes, but
the other
hang
thing
on,
I was
no.
going to say is, hang on.
I'll push
What
back
caused the
on
Dust
cow
Bowl
farts.
is after they killed off the buffalo. The grass mat across the Great Plains was like 18 inches thick of hundreds of years of like growth and death of this grassland, and they tilled it all up with tractors. And that situation exists today where it's all commercial farmland. Like there's nowhere to put a herd of woolly mammoths.
Yeah. There is Canada. Canada has the population less than California.
Yeah, and it's all down
the
along our
land
border.
mass. So you take a Pleistocene animal that's built for cold and tundra, and you release them back into Canada.
Way up north.
But that's the idea of like
And they will somehow help the tundra
they help the ecosystem
just by churning it up.
all the buffalo kept the United States and the grasslands vibrant.
Don't
when
they
the
say
buffalo
snow
died,
geese fuck up the tundra from landing up there and eating? And like they're doing something to the tundra that's fucking up the ground cover.
could be.
Yeah, it was tractors that killed American grassland in the Midwest.
No,
It
what was the
wasn't
Dust
the death
Bowl?
of it was
What was the Dust Bowl? Though?
it was they had because that grass mat was 18 inches thick when they came through and plowed it all off with tractors. Then when the drought arrived, there was nothing to keep the soil in place because all that grass had been plowed up. So then here comes the hot, dry weather.
Yeah, but that
dried
was-
everything out, and all
Is that
it all
what made
blew away.
tornadoes?
But the animals are what churned it for centuries before. Tilling is a part of gardening and putting things into the ground. When you have manure and topsoil,
This fucking guy.
no, but that's what it was.
I
That
don't think he listens.
no, sometimes I do, but that is cloven animals. That is hooves. When it used to be that the North America was miles of buffalo, miles wide, a mile wide. That churns, right? That's growth. That's what created the grasslands. You had camels. You had horses.
Whoa. We had camels?
Yeah, that's where camels came from, is North America.
No shit.
Yes.
No.
Huh?
Uh-huh.
The two-humped camels or...
They changed over time, but the camel species started in North America.
I did not know that.
Yes. A lot of cats, too. That's why cheetahs, they're like, oh, it runs 80 miles per hour. Well, what also runs 80 miles per hour in North America?
A John Deere, boy.
No, you killed them.
An antelope.
An antelope. So if
The
a
most
prey,
American-
if a prey can run 80 miles per hour in North America, do you think a
There's
predator
a
can
predator
chase
somewhere.
it? So the North American cheetah was a real thing. The
Tell you what,
cheetahs and
my
the cats.
Nissan almost hit one. And I was going almost. Dude, that I will never forget that. It was the craziest thing driving. Sorry if I can interrupt what you're saying, but we're driving. I'm going probably 50 miles an hour on this kind of gravel road. You know, why wouldn't you? And all of a sudden, from the right of us comes this antelope, and it is running towards the road, and it's kind of running at us. And I was like, this is crazy. It looked like a thing of a movie where like some bandit was trying to jump onto a fucking train. You know what I mean? Like that was the angle it was approaching this road. And then all of a sudden it got up to the side of the truck, and it's running alongside the truck a little bit. And then it started pulling ahead of the truck. I looked down, I'm going about 50. And it put its like head down a little bit, and it took like 4 hard pumps and just kicked hard. Boom, boom. And it shot ahead of us, and then it shot up and over the front of the front of the road in front of us. But it took like 5 hard kicks, and you could see it like put its head down and just got after it and just boom, 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 boom. And it launched ahead of us, and then jumped over. And I was like, this is freaking wild.
You know how crazy?
I slowed down a little bit, but I was like, oh, man.
1 mile.
Yeah.
You know a crazy fact about pronghorn or antelope is that they are from the plains of North America, of the grasslands that just go forever and they're flat, right? And so they're built for all speed, and they're not built for jumping. Like their shoulders aren't like normal white tails.
Oh, they
or
can't
mule-
jump like a deer?
Not at all.
They say they can't jump over fences,
Oh, shit.
They
so
find
they'll
them.
go under.
Really?
No,
They'll
they
try
run
and
straight into.
They
them.
try and go under.
They
like
run
if they can.
if they can, but they run so fast they think they'll run through it. They say there's all kinds of tales of antelope in farmers' field and barbed wire hitting it at 80 and rolling it through 3 strand and just getting tied up.
Tails is in stories, not tails, because they don't have tails.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yes. But of course.
Yeah, the fucking antelope are crazy. And the last one I shot, I felt kind of bad. It was standing there in a corner, and there was 2 fences, and it was just kind of in the corner of this fence, and it just sitting there. Yeah. Like, well, what the fuck do I do now? And I was like, well, buddy.
See, but
today's your day. I shot it, and somebody else had already shot it.
Oh, that's why.
Wait, what? Excuse me. Hang on.
Yeah, I shot this thing. It dropped. I shot, and it just dropped. And I was like, well, that's how you fucking handle this, boys. Like, looking back at my buddy, like, looking. And I'm like, that's what we do. Yeah. And then I go up to it, and I was like, son of a bitch, I shot it all shitty. Like, I shot it, like, just above the shoulders and the spine, and just, it dropped it. And it's like.
Spine's a good hit.
It's a good hit, but not if you're
aiming at
getting
the lungs
35 pounds of meat off this thing, and that's half the back strap.
You blew off all the neck and back strap.
Yeah, I was pissed. I was so pissed. But then looking at it,
would you shoot it with?
It's
270?
A 270. 270, 130 grain 270 round. That's perfect for an antelope. Yeah. It's absolutely perfect.
Sweet.
And so because I wasn't getting pass throughs, I was like, I was hitting their hearts and just dropping them. Except that one, I hit the spine. But the front of it, somebody had shot and just like grazed its chest, so it had like kind of a gash on its chest, or maybe it was a fence. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, it had been hit there, and I was like, did my bullet split or something? What the hell happened here? Because it was a severe wound on its chest.
Yeah.
And then looking at where it's got the black patch on its cheek, it looked like there was a bunch of like sweat, like mucus kind of stuff coming out of it.
It had rabies.
There was something, I don't think it had rabies, but I think there was just like adrenaline or just like I'd been hit and I'm battling
Deer aren't
this thing.
Supposed to sweat.
It just had like this this stuff on its cheek that looked like something is fucked up here, and I don't know if it was a gland. Like the gland is like excreting some sort of a shit. Like I don't know. It was weird, and I did not love the taste of it. And
it tastes like adrenaline.
Yeah, it tasted fast.
Cool, sweet story, dude. So that makes me think. Right? Like those animals that can run so fucking fast. They had a predator. So many things of Africa and Asia started in the United States. North America, I always think it's so cool that cowboys were like, this is the last frontier, because it's like, yeah, motherfuckers, this is where things started and kind of got destroyed and finished and was untouched. The United States, the animals, the megafauna that came out of here and dispersed through the world really was like incredibly like diverse. And then when it hit Asia and Africa and Europe, all these places, it changed. But the United States has these animals that, like with those deer, they run so fast, but that's because there's a predator that could kill them. If they found DNA of the North American land cheetah, do we bring them back?
Fuck no.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah.
Absolutely not.
Turn them loose downtown. And okay, here's a great this is a great way to get rid of, we've been, yeah, exactly. We've been talking about our trebuchet to feed the orcas. We could turn loose some short-faced bears, and some saber-toothed cats down on 3rd and Pike, and just let them clean shit out.
Boys.
It'd be fucking awesome.
If I'm bringing okay.
Can you imagine just sitting up in like a 2nd-story bar, cheering while a fucking cheetah chases a fucking homeless drug addict down the
Thing
street.
is, I
Like,
can.
yeah.
I see it on Instagram in India. Do you see those videos where like a cheetah enters a video in India and they all get sticks and belts and start beating it? Dude, it is nuts.
Yeah. And
Instagram's awesome. Let me tell you.
I don't know. I don't
Jordan,
think
you're
I'd bring
gonna-
back that. I'd bring back like
Yeah. What are you
the
going to
Irish elk. That giant elk that's bigger than moose.
It's crazy how wide that thing is. If that's the
I think
reanimation picture or whatever the fuck you sent us last week of that thing and how wide its chest is what caught my attention.
Yeah, it's like 3 foot wide.
Okay, I saw you're kind of mustering it in your mind. If you could see one animal brought back from life,
T-Rex.
what would it? I mean, that's
Absolutely.
pretty good.
You guys are fucking crazy.
I'm not saying
I want to know if it has feathers.
That's what I was going to say. Do you think it had feathers? It's a big ass bird.
Don't you
It
feel
just looked like
more
a big.
feathers?
Well, hang on, would
Giant
you be
chicken.
disappointed if after? I was just gonna say after seeing all the skeletons and shit in the Natural History Museum, they reincarnate it and it's just a big ass fucking hen.
Yeah. You imagine what that wing tastes like?
Oh my god,
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
a thigh.
Yeah. They're going to need a bigger fire.
Took us a week to cook it. Yeah, delicious.
Yeah, I think I'm bringing back only things that had fur, like from that period of time of like.
What's your animal though?
It's the Irish elk for sure.
You do that one?
Yeah.
I like the Irish elk. I think a short-faced bear would be crazy to see in person, but to me, like a saber-toothed cat, like tigers are nuts, but to see like a tiger on steroids would be like,
Yeah.
oh, Siegfried and Roy would have such a boner looking at this.
Yeah,
Or shit. Now that I'm thinking about it,
They're going to bedazzle its teeth.
Yeah, they're,
Bunch of fucking fags.
Dude, the cat has a residency at Vegas. Did you hear?
Oh, yeah. Wait, what? I thought you were talking about the white tigers. They're reintroducing grizzly bears in the North Cascades. Maybe we should reintroduce them down on 3rd and Pike.
No,
That could be fun
agree.
too.
Yeah,
we don't even need to
range.
we don't need to reincarnate some fucking long dead animal. We could just bring the grizzlies right back. Down
See,
into
but this
Seattle.
is where I go with like
Coyote.
nature needs to be with nature. Yes, cow farts aren't killing the world, but maybe in a world where cows roam and they have the space and they tear up the terrain, and it's like those guys like Joel Salinger, and he does subsistence farming, where it's like it's actually carbon neutral or negative because all the biomes work off of everything else. Mm-hmm. I think that's actually a way that you could get it to not only kind of work, but it's how it was kind of intended to work. So when you do that, like I think of like having massive amounts of animals, like with the cows, where it's like they don't have any grass, they're not contributing to the topsoil, they're not fertilizing it, they're not taking in the microbiome of the surrounding area around them. What you're doing is you're creating like a life cesspool, but it creates protein, right? It isn't really adding.
You're talking like the big stock pens.
Just factory farming.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's not on the ground. It's you're bringing everything else in.
Were cows created by like the cows were? Where did cows come from?
That's a great question. Where did they evolve from?
I thought that was a man-made animal.
Because they don't survive
humans
wild.
Made cows.
No.
No?
I mean, cow species are from bulls, and bulls are like, I mean, there's Siberian and all that stuff. The domestic cow, probably something from Africa to Asia into Europe is what the domestic cow is, I would say. Where did they start?
Because I imagine it
I
came
would
from like
say
a
actually
buffalo.
cows started in Asia. I'm going to say cows started in Asia. That's my guess.
Let's look that up and then.
Tobin is typing away.
I'm
furiously.
Googling right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can't put his phone down.
But I feel when you don't have nature working the way, that's why farms are bad in the factory farming sense. There's not 1,000 cows on 1,000 acres.
All cattle descended from as few as 80 animals that were domesticated from wild ox in the Near East, East Asia, some 10,500 years ago, according to a new genetic study.
Yeah.
Where'd ox come from?
East Asia. So I have a friend who they have like I want to say 500 head of cattle on 2,000 acres, and then they also lease property that they let them graze on. So, like, there's ways in which to do it.
Yeah.
But,
or like when we hunted at Dan's spot,
and those bulls
having
were
all
just
those cows around you,
yeah.
that's an interesting way to hunt. But that's farmers getting federal leasing to state land to graze. And it's good. That's what you want. Yeah. They turn over the forest.
We should do a podcast on those guys who did the Oregon
the bridge guys,
and really like look into
the cattle grazing, where they stood against the FBI because they wanted grazing right for
Bundy,
cattle.
the Bundy Ranch,
the Bundy Ranch,
absolutely, yeah.
We should do a deep dive and just like everybody do some research, do some homework, and then
I will do at least 15 minutes of Googling.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Jordan
we could get a hold of some other fuckers. You good for 7? Talk to them.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. And I'm good for at least 3.
Yeah.
Before
let's just tell Greg to talk to him. Let's really make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Simi Bird, hit us up.
Oh no!
I think we could have some effect.
Yeah. Hang on. Okay.
Give him the old Neanderthal bump.
Wait. So we're going T-Rex. I'm going saber-toothed cat to bring back. What are you going, Jordan?
I'm going the elk, dude.
Irish elk.
I want something.
That's your
to hunt.
animal of choice.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna bring
we're
back
hunting
something,
the T-Rex.
Yeah.
You're gonna need something bigger.
If I'm being honest, I'm gonna bring
You're
back
gonna need
Samson,
an RPG.
my old dog.
Yeah.
But
so I went way down the rabbit hole when you first mentioned this because I was thinking about how people do like the hog hunting out of helicopters in Texas.
Yeah.
Imagine pterodactyl hunting with an RPG out of fucking like a helicopter.
So we're going to Abu Dhabi.
Because yeah, exactly. Because now you actually have to worry that they might take you down.
And you don't think that's going to happen with the T-Rex?
I feel like
the T-Rex, if you're in an aircraft, you're all right.
Well, that is true. That's a big aspect.
Unless they have wings and feathers.
That's true. Yeah,
we didn't know, but they
son
fly.
of a bitch, they have wings.
Yeah. God, T-Rexes can soar. Those little arms. Yeah. Jesus. But that does bring up an interesting aspect is like the money you could make off of hunting them.
Imagine what people would pay to hunt a woolly mammoth. Thousands.
Yeah. People pay $500,000 to hunt a fucking goat.
Elk. Yeah. Or a mountain sheep or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be, I mean, if you can hunt hogs out of a helicopter with a chain gun with Tim Kennedy, imagine what you could do with a woolly mammoth.
Right.
Yeah, you and Elon. You know? Something crazy.
Wonder what it tastes
like. But it's also like, you look at what hunting really is for like those big game things, and a lot of it is like the last guy that got to kill a rhino, it wasn't like, oh, some dude just went in there and killed it. He had to pay tons of money because this rhino isn't having sex with any more females, and he's infertile, and now he's mad.
He's fighting, though.
And he's killing all the young males that can reproduce the population. So part of what big game hunting is,
hang on. There's also some pay-per-view opportunities here. Like you put a T-Rex and a woolly mammoth and a fucking
Dana
giant.
White, what's going on?
Yeah, dude, kidding me? I'll fucking pay for that pay-per-view.
I mean, okay.
National Geographic at night.
This is a little off subject, but could you imagine like gladiator Roman times when they're like, we're going to have 100 lions versus 60 monkeys and 25 dudes dressed as like French prisoners somehow we got.
Yeah. Oh,
dude,
my God.
It would be nuts to see crazy animal fights like that. That would be a black market.
We'll put that on our time travel after we go to Egypt. We're going to the Colosseum in Rome because we want to see the fucking lions and the gladiators.
So again, we're going even further off topic, but you said time travel, and there's supposedly there's a video of a guy that gets the cops called on him. He's kind of just a deranged dude, and he walks into the back of a yard and gets into some guy's shed, and the guy's like, "What the fuck?" and calls the cops. The cops go and they look into the shed, and nobody's in there. 2 days later, a guy walks out of there and he looks like the same guy, but he's got different clothes on and like white hair, and like walks through and like walks off. And there's a ring camera, like video of it.
Do you wear a skin?
What's that?
Do you wear a skin?
What's that?
You cut someone's skin off and wear it.
Oh shit!
I make a
Do
Jordan
you wear
mask.
Oh, easy, dude. I don't know. There was a.
So what's
so there's no answer?
Yeah, I don't understand.
There's no answer. I'm just
they
saying,
think
like that is something that like supposedly happened, and that was just something on the internet. Don't worry.
How did this deal with Roman fights?
It had nothing to do with that. But you were talking about time traveling, going back, and Tobin said something about time traveling. I was like, wait a second. I just saw this thing. How crazy was this? But I mean, Roman fights would be crazy, dude. Could you imagine? A bunch of shit fighting stuff.
Yeah. This is Taco Pod. This is what happens when
this is what happens
you too
when
many
Mike
tacos.
feeds us a bunch of dude. I must have eaten like 6 or 7 tacos in there.
It's like the sauna and
Those
the
were
cold
so
plunge
good.
put together.
Yeah.
I don't see how I was off. I'm not out of pocket. Like, that was solid. How dare you guys like accuse me of saying weird shit?
Excuse me?
This is just fine.
Oh my god.
Anyway, but I think that I think bringing things back that you could actually use to hunt, and I mean, you could hunt anything that with hooves. Am I right?
Well, also in a world where where we're talking about lab created meat and whatnot, why not just create more wild animals and replenish herds, like wild herds, and make hunting more available instead of think about how restrictive all the regulations are right now. What if we're just legitimately creating new animals and releasing them into the wild and creating new hunting opportunities?
You did make
it's going to fuck up. Like there's going to be a balance with managing the ecosystem, and God knows what happens if you release 200 Irish elk out into the woods. Like, they could fuck up a bunch of shit. You don't know.
Oh, absolutely would fuck up a bunch of shit. Goodbye, elk.
Yeah. Goodbye, side view mirror on my Escalade.
Goodbye, Escalade, dude.
Goodbye, garden.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's part of what that ecosystem is. Like, you made a good point in the beginning, like, where are you going to put them all? Yes, that's true. That's what animals are in our ecosystem. That's what cities battle with raccoons and possums and coyotes. And this is the balance of life. And you're talking about putting grizzlies back in North Cascade. And one, it's like, this is crazy in a way, but two, it's like that's kind of how it works, and it should be managed by population. Everyone doesn't act like wolves are super prevalent in Washington State, but I say you look at the Yakima herd and how much it's been down.
I'm fairly certain I saw a wolf when we were turkey hunting, or it was the biggest fucking coyote I've ever seen.
Yeah.
No.
And do you think there's going to be a correlation to sidearms?
Oh, like, yes. Are you kidding me? The first time, that are like, not until somebody gets mauled, and that it will happen, right? Like, you can't just.
What
have
about those guys
bears.
that got killed by the cougars, like the trans dude and the?
It's so rare for a cougar to attack a person, and it was like an emaciated cougar. And
remember the one guy like fought it off with his bicycle and he's like, "I'm gonna run away," and then he ran away, and it took him out. It's like a yarn ball.
The worst thing you can do is run away, but it's a whole different story with grizzly bears, because a grizzly bear doesn't need to be starving and emaciated and desperate to attack. Grizzly bears are just ornery, right? So sooner or later, somebody's going to get mauled. But like, I'm glad I bought that 10mm pistol, because from now on, anytime I'm going hiking or backpacking or hunting, that thing's going to be somewhere on me for that, because they've already started releasing the bears.
But that's why that area is where you take that pistol. In Seattle, you don't take that pistol. You take maybe another one.
Fuck, I don't.
You take another one.
Speak for yourself.
But maybe you take another one, but you don't take that one. But that's where it goes back into how do you take these animals of prehistoric time? Like, they really have put this idea of putting woolly mammoths back into nature has been maybe 20 years old, where they are close to having it. And I think they could probably do it. It's just bureaucracy. For all good reasons. I don't want a woolly mammoth in my backyard. But talking of how you could do this, this is the same thing as like the bears. This is like, so you're keeping, where is the restriction of where nature is and where is human is? Humans come from nature and there's a blend between the two. But when you start having cities and society and commerce and roads and culture and safety, it starts to become more of like a blurred thing. But we're in this cool time where you could, would it hurt to have a herd of 1,000 Irish elk roaming the world? Probably not. But it's like, at what point are you overseeding it? Is this not how it's supposed to be? Or maybe these animals died for a reason and they don't work that well in today's society.
Well, of course
everything that's ever existed has died. 90% of all species have 99%, I think is what it really is,
probably
have
more.
died.
Yeah. But that's the thing is like the species that are alive now have so much technology.
What does it want?
What does it want?
What does it want?
It wants to reanimate some shit, dude. I would love to see something like that happen. But it's so crazy to me that they're talking about being able to bring shit back, like a woolly mammoth. And they're also talking about population, anything on the endangered species list. It's like we can't figure that out, but you want to just reintroduce some other crazy thing. And like, what are you going to do? Keep it in a zoo?
Good point.
Are you going to keep it in a zoo? Or are you going to do like a Northwest Trek thing with woolly mammoths? Like what?
Go feed them bread.
I mean, that's honestly like at some point, like that's what's happening. And it's like, well, what? And even this bear thing, like reintroducing bear, it's like, obviously they're not here now for a reason, whether it be the way we have built our roads and our infrastructure.
A lot
and
of everything.
There's a lot of things going on like that. And like, people say like, they overhunt and this and that. Bull fucking shit. I don't believe that for a second.
Overhunting wasn't the problem in the United States. Overtrapping is the problem in the United States. That's our past of the Civil War.
Yeah. But I don't think that that's going on now.
No.
And I think that
I know no trappers. I only know hunters.
The natural range of these things now, like to say, hey, we're going to reintroduce these things here for what reason? Why would we reintroduce predators? To simply like keep them alive? Like we're trying to give them more space. And to that, if that's what we want to do, maybe we quit impeding on their space. But everybody wants to build another fucking neighborhood closer to the mountains. Everybody wants fucking Suncadia.
I was just going to say, everybody wants to move over to Suncadia and be in the mountain for Leavenworth.
You want to do that stuff, and they want to and it's not us, right? It's the fucking rich motherfuckers that like say, what, we're going to make some money, and it's not. That's not like the elite. That's not the one crazy 1% of people.
I don't think the elite are launching grizzly bears.
No, I'm talking about the people who are like, we're just going to keep expanding, and we're going to keep putting these subdivisions up into fucking cities.
Commerce.
Yeah,
that's just the beat of the city. That's
happening. That's happening at such a like. If you want these things to have a place to live, and not think, I'm talking about
their fucking scientific name is Ursus horribilis because they're fucking horrible creatures.
Horribilis. So. I think that like if we don't have a place for them and we're not willing to like say a hard line, guess what? Nothing. Roads don't get made in here.
No,
trees don't get harvested.
I'm going to push back. I'm fine with you introducing predators and things of that nature.
Fuck you, Mike.
If those predators don't have food, if you don't have bread and circus as the bear living in the woods, you're going to breed and push outwards. Yeah. Actually, if there was a huge push to have deer and elk population and small bird game and all kinds of stuff flourish, as much as you push grizzly bears, you push all their food source.
Yeah. How long until, because we have black bears wandering around our cities, like in Mill Creek, our old house, there's fucking black bears wandering around people's backyards.
But you can't hunt them.
So how long until a grizzly bear is wandering around downtown or some fucking suburb in Everett?
But we took away all that local black bears, deer, all that and all its
Well, this will only put more pressure
birds
on.
and-
Yeah.
Well, it ends up being a fucking whatever, garbage can's not.
But
tied
that's
down.
why. But that's why I mean. That's why you see coyotes and black bears, predators and
Yeah.
scavengers.
So what will this
survive.
do? What will this do to other predators? Because now you're introducing an apex predator. So is this going to negatively impact the black bear and the coyote population? Because now they're competing with the grizzly bear for food.
Depends. It depends on density.
Fucking
per,
hippies probably didn't think about that shit, did they?
Nah. Yeah.
So
Also,
there's gonna be all kinds of things, but I and this is just what I think is obviously because that's what this podcast is, guys. But I think that when it comes to reintroducing things, has nothing to do with anything except for fuck the hunters.
Oh, I think it's all about feelings. It's
Yeah.
It's all.
How
this,
cool would it be to see a bear in the woods
Yeah.
on a calendar? Because I'll never actually go up there.
Yeah.
But I vote for it because I feel like it's the right thing to do.
It's all about feel
and you
good.
shouldn't be able to hunt them either, and you shouldn't be able to hunt other things too. Like
Yep.
that is what is happening more and more and more and more.
Yep.
They less hunting. Hunting's bad. Guns are bad. Loud noises. Like don't do anything. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Don't eat cow because that's bad, because raising cow and killing cow, that's not good either. So just meat is murder, be vegan, fuck you, Sean Baker. And you know what I mean? Like that seems like what the situation is. And it's like, stop it all.
But also, these
I think
same
that's what
people
this
are
is
the
about.
people that want to reintroduce these animals.
Yeah, but they're
not?
wanting to reintroduce the animals because they want to observe. They don't want to be. There is a difference.
Aren't you
between,
fine with an animal? Imagine they just released everything in its animal apocalypse. I mean, gentlemen, I feel like we're doing way better
awesome.
than it is China grid down apocalypse. Over animal apocalypse? Dude, Jordan, your little spit, you keep that going 5 days a week.
Oh, dude,
buddy.
yeah, no, we're doing a whole.
The other
different
two
kind
are
of
just
thing.
for pooping. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of bison.
Well, if they reintroduced everything and it was a free for all of just like, all right, here's the deal.
Yeah.
We're going to shut the grid down, and we're going to reintroduce.
There's a
these
special
animals.
zoo where we've been recreating these things. We're just going to open the gates.
We're going to open the
Fucking
gates.
great.
We're shutting the power off.
Oh my god.
Jurassic Park
And
times
whatever
10.
you guys have on you is what you have.
Yeah.
Good luck. Like
Oh,
that would be my dream. That's the dream.
That sounds like a movie.
How
That
you going to power your Traeger?
Traeger, I'm not. Fuck the Traeger, dude.
Cooking up in fire, buddy. You were there Friday night.
It's all fire. It's all fire. At that
Over
point,
those pellets?
no, I'm going to build a brick oven. Yeah,
Construct a brick oven out of
old
stones
houses.
and mud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, could you imagine that? It'd be a pizza oven. A giant pizza oven for a full
Put
carcass.
a rack of woolly mammoth in there.
Yeah, dude. Could you imagine the tenderloin on that thing? Good
Be
gravy.
the size of my dick.
Yeah, yeah, the size of this table.
Gonna need a couple woolly mammoths in to feed this village.
Just the good meat, you know. Then you got the tusks. What are you gonna? You're gonna build a bunch of pianos?
Well, dude, you could make some nice knife handles.
Oh, dude, all kinds of things with the woolly mammoth tusk. You know what? I'll tell you what.
We could make new handles for our hatchets.
Well, you see a lot of that.
They have mammoth tusks handles for this in this company, and
Really?
yeah.
Oh shit.
Be nice on your
Damn,
AR.
boys.
What?
Mammoth tusk.
Mammoth tusk pistol
For
grip.
like your grips on, yeah.
Oh, if I was gonna get something fancy like that, it'd be like a 1911.
1911.
Some mammoth tusk
Yeah, little side whatever.
handles. Yeah, because I'm not really or like was it the pearl handle,
Revolver.
a revolver, but with mammoth tusk.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
We get some sweet necklaces too with like some saber-toothed cat teeth.
Are pearl, when they have a pearl handle on like a 1911, is it just like the shell? Like that
Yeah,
top?
it's just like a little.
But isn't it
decorative.
like a 1911, like the side of that handle is like a 1/4 inch thick, maybe a little bit? Are those shells
I don't know if
that
they're real.
thick?
Is that real?
What?
Pearl handles on like revolvers and shit.
Is that a
Is
real
it made
pearl
out of
shell?
actual pearl? I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, I bet at one point it probably was.
'Cause I don't know. Don't pearls come round? How would you make it flat into a revolver?
No.
handle?
Like
No,
the inside
talking about
of the
the
shell.
shell itself of the oyster.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
I don't know.
Puka shell handled fucking guns.
Yeah. Where'd you get that handle? Pacific Sun Zoomies.
Yeah, PacSun.
Gentlemen, pee break, please.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. We'll be back.
No, get back to Are you gonna be Jesus and bring back a fucking woolly
Hang
mammoth?
on.
And
Don't say, "Are you going to be?" Say, "Hey, what up, G's?" First of all,
That was the longest pee break ever.
yeah, that
Was 2 peas.
That was no time to you, but that was about 6 more beers to us, and we're here. Mike's drinking a harder Mike's Hard lemonade. And
It's Mandarin pineapple.
yeah, we're trying to figure out what's happening.
sorry, I'm cultural.
So
We should have hit record like 45 minutes ago.
we went down a rabbit hole
But here we are.
offline, and now we're back to woolly mammoths.
Woolly mammoths.
Mike,
You guys, that's the worst send off. Are you kidding me?
let me
Hand
try
it over.
it again. Let me try
Okay,
it again.
or do you want to do it together?
Yeah.
Do you want to build? Do you want me to
Together.
hand off, build upon,
Build upon.
build upon?
Yeah. So if we were to reanimate,
Yes.
remember that movie, Reanimation?
Jurassic Park. Oh, no.
Reanimation, where they were injecting like dead people with some,
Like dead people, or
and they were
alive
coming
people?
back to life. Reanimation. No.
Reanimation.
It's like
I
a
get.
pet cemetery situation.
Zombie people.
If you were going to
kinda.
pet cemetery any species that have
Yeah.
ever lived,
Zombie mammoths.
you're thinking.
But I want it to work well. Like I don't want a
But you're-
zombie
but you- if you-
saber-toothed tiger.
But that's-
I
No shit.
want like a leaping and like lustrous
saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah.
Guess what? It's the same turmoil on society. A saber-toothed
zombie
tiger.
one.
Could you imagine what's the difference between a zombie saber-toothed tiger and a regular saber-toothed tiger? I feel like a zombie
Walking
saber-toothed tiger you can't
circles.
shoot.
First, walking a lot of circles. You know,
dude.
the brain ain't working well.
I'm
You
World War
know?
Z zombies, dude. Those things are running like crazy.
Fast.
Yeah, no, thank you, dude.
Saber-toothed cat get even faster.
Wait, hang on. How did reanimating animals bring us zombie animals? You mean like we just raised the animals and they became like it didn't work?
No, I was
Bad science.
It was
bad
science.
science.
It's all bad science.
Don't say
it's all-
Pet Cemetery. Please don't say Pet Cemetery.
Well, that's
you were going to.
I was getting ready to
Yes.
say. I said Pet Cemetery earlier, and that's where we came up with the zombie thing. But yeah, because we're not going to do that for sure.
I don't think. I mean, that's a good question. If you started like Jurassic Park style, like we're reanimating animals and breeding animals, you're not reanimating them technically. Reanimating is taking dead things and making it alive. You're taking cells and you're cloning it
Creating a
with
new
the
life.
closest living species cell that's adaptable. Frog cells, different cells, embryos that are close to making this happen. This doesn't just happen without science.
So-
Listen, this is something I really care about. And you doofballs are like, dude, someone wants to bring a woolly mammoth.
T-Rex.
Yeah, right? And it's like, dude, this has been talked about for a long time and the science is getting close. That's why Jurassic Park was cool, is because, dude, that we're in a time and
Because you were fucking 12. Is why, that's why, asshole. Fuck you, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's why it was cool. But now it's even cooler because it's on the precipice of actually happening. And
Yes.
so if that actually does happen and they bring back a woolly mammoth and they have to, we have the technology to bring back whatever the fucking DNA they can find and relate to the closest whatever that they want to bind it with. If that is truly, because honestly, we have done no research. To the listeners, if you don't already know, we have done so little research that I couldn't tell you what their actual steps to reanimation is, or de-extinction.
Woolly mammoth and elephant embryos is what is the closest that they're doing for it. Yeah. And I think it matters between African and Indian elephant. Like the lineage and the like what they want to use to breed them, you have to go old school.
But you know what? But what we also have to remember
the dot on the forehead too
is we can't
not North
breed
America.
Whatever happens, we can't breed them with bullfrogs because they turn hermaphrodite or whatever and start breeding. Remember that whole thing?
And then they eat Newman from Seinfeld, and it's a big problem.
Yeah, and then he fucking something about fucking whipped cream or something.
Shaving cream.
Same shaving cream.
That's a good. Oh, I mean, okay, sorry. Derailed, but you guys got me going. You know what's a good thing? When you see those things and it looks like a Pepsi can, or like from Jurassic Park, it was a Barbasol shaving cream canister, and you can unscrew the bottom.
It's like the secret
and it gives you,
compartment where you put your drugs.
That's where they put the alien. Oh, the
DNA,
the dinosaur. Yeah. And that's cool. Right? Sorry, that sounded bad saying it like that, but it's cool.
Holy shit.
Oh
All
my
right,
God.
guys.
Hang on. Tell me you're stoned without telling me you're stoned.
All right. Well, we're really on one, guys. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to bring it back to reality here.
Wait, but it's cool, but it's like also,
shit.
it's cool like that.
Hey, Jordan, do you remember the Beatles?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was awesome, dude.
Not only is it cool like that, but it's cool like, oh, that's very like good ingenuity. You know, like what else can you hide it in?
Well, that's like some James Bond. Yeah, the one in the movies, like,
but
you get like a quarter turn and there's like a hiss.
Yes, exactly.
And then it opens up and there's a little LED light inside and there's like some black ice steam rolling out. And the reality is you're going to get arrested at SeaTac with like a fucking shitty thing that like halfway unscrews
and let's be
still
honest,
smells like
you
weed.
keistered most of it.
Yeah.
So it's making me think. What is the ultimate thing that no one thinks about? What do you have no regard? Dude,
Are we talking about smuggling or just like
anything that you don't think
the least thought about thing ever? Mike,
that you have on your body all day long? That
your headphones.
No one thinks about
nipples.
My nipple.
Yeah. For me, your pecker. What?
No one thinks about it. Oh, dude, that hurts to say it out loud. No. Your socks.
I think about my socks all the time.
But no one else does. Think about this. If you could have...
I'm trying, but if I don't, I can't,
listen,
and I won't.
We're going down that same rabbit hole of having the green bean can that you can unscrew, or that
we're going down a rabbit hole that this is not supposed to be happening. So we went from reanimation to talking about fucking smuggling stuff in socks and DNA, and you're talking about now knitting socks and all other manners of shit. So.
But that's what smuggling is.
Yeah, it is. But you know what happens is you fall down a little river because it's icy or wet and rainy, and then a thing spits in your face and you're fucked. So don't do that. Okay,
well, fine.
So we all.
You don't want to go down my river. I'll go down your river. So you got these animals. You start repurposing them.
What are you gonna do with them? If you could have
zoos seem fucked.
I'm gonna hunt them. I'm gonna shoot them. How cool would that be? If you could.
But if they started reconstituting it or like rebreeding animals that were extinct, and they're like, we're just going to put them in zoos. Would you rather they be put in zoos or put back in wild? Like we're talking about that that grizzly getting put back in the North Cascades.
Hang on. Here's an idea. Put wolves and grizzlies and whatever else you want to reincarnate back into the wilds, but open up the hunting seasons.
If they're
good
willing,
game management.
If they are willing to feed a grizzly, they have to understand maybe they've taken this into account. But if they're gonna reintroduce grizzlies, you got to understand that there's a certain amount of predator or a prey that they need. And that will certainly affect what happens to the not only game population, but the people willing to go, which that the biggest pro to them reintroducing shit is I think that there's going to be some people who aren't willing to go there now. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So
Do you really
Thins
think
out the
men armed with rifles aren't going to be willing to go up hunting? Or
No,
you think, or
but
you think
yeah,
it's the-
I do.
I think the hiking crowd,
team.
yes,
No,
absolutely.
I think
Yeah.
men armed with rifles. Don't think all hunters are fucking tough men who are fucking willing to face some shit because they're not. That's plain and simple.
Yeah, that's
We
fair.
we,
Right
we know
here.
that. Yeah,
right.
like
If there's grizzlies where I'm turkey hunting, hey guys, I'll see you for deer.
Yeah, well, that's why I had that 10mm pistol.
it's going to be higher stakes. It's
'Cause
going to be
you gotta have
definitely higher
something.
stakes.
And even could you imagine? And
not gonna go
I talk like
grouse
that's
hunting.
a given that you're going to gun him down. But the idea of gunning down a grizzly at pistol range is fucking terrifying.
Have you watched the fucking videos of the grizzly that like jumps through the fence?
Yes.
And the way
Yes.
their arms like open
Yeah.
up and they're just pounding, and it's just like that is
Oh,
the way they don't run like a deer, they don't run like a horse. Their arms can move in so many different
when you
is-
see them run like that too, you
scary.
realize how long their arms are. Like
and how
Well, that
fast
goes
and
back
powerful
to
they are.
reconstituting animals. The short-faced bear, they said, stopped a lot of immigration of
Migrants. Well, let's put them on the southern border then.
short-faced bear.
oh, hang on, this is a good program now.
Yeah,
This is a
We're
great
gonna make
idea.
a big ass ditch.
Dude,
We're gonna
if this
Fill
becomes a
it, all
Trump
different
highlight-
kind of like. Hang on, this could be like a
Fuck the wall,
this could be
let's
our
build a moat.
Yeah, we're talking about pay-per-views. You could fill a moat full of T-Rexes and short-faced bears.
Yeah, good
And
luck.
you know what?
You know what?
If you make it to America, you're
Strong
welcome.
survive.
Yeah.
We're building a ditch.
And if you make it north and get hooked on fentanyl, we're going to fire you out to deal with the killer whales.
Yep, good luck.
A short-faced bear was thought to stop migration across the Bering Seas, across the ice bridge. Like, you see a grizzly bear, like, we're talking about bringing animals back. I think a saber-toothed cat would be the best. But if you brought back a short-faced bear, it's, 2 times plus the size of a grizzly? Like, height-wise, body mass, everything. They thought that a big part of humans not coming into the Americas was the short-faced bear. Like,
You know what'd be funny is this would never happen, but imagine if 50 years from now REI has a gun counter full of 357 Magnums and 300 Win Mags for shooting grizzlies.
Jordan, did you ever read The American Serengeti?
Yeah.
Did you think it was a good book?
Yeah.
Did it surprise you at all as to how much of America wildlife was so far to the East Coast?
I think that was
But that's when Spanish,
Landed
everyone's
on
every
the East
French,
Coast.
Spanish, English. The Americas in the beginning were a race. Like I talk about, like I think
World War II is a race.
but that's the thing is that's where people were at.
World War
The,
One
the
was a
vast majority of people who landed in America landed on the East Coast. Am I right? So
That's
wh-
all. Who landed on the West Coast? Dude,
Well, when
just
people-
Spicoli.
And-
That's
and-
where California accent comes from. It's like a lost Jamaican. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh my
continue.
Okay, so when people landed, when people landed on the fucking America,
Spicoli's sitting right here at this table.
that's where they landed, right? They were on the East Coast,
Yes,
right? So
most of them.
that is why
A couple.
all of the writing and all that was over
Yeah.
there, right? I don't think that they realized that it wasn't just over there.
Who?
Oh shit.
Who wasn't really? The people landing?
The people landed on the East Coast.
The people landing
And they-
on the East Coast thought they found India. That
Well, I
they
understand. That's what
landed
they were looking
and they're
for.
like, wow, India's
Yeah,
weird.
Indians.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is weird. Yeah, this looks nothing like we thought.
So what are you talking about?
What am I talking about?
Yeah, as far as the you were
No,
saying,
good. Yeah. The initial arrivals.
yeah,
But yeah,
and all of the animals that were being discovered, or like, what are you talking about?
the initial
Pee break.
the initial arrival was the beginning of like written document of acquisition of things, of commerce of goods. Maybe before then the United States had been raided.
Readjusting this mic, guys. It's been falling. Sorry. We're still there.
All right.
From that point, the Americas had not been discovered. Yes, people only came on the East Coast. So when the
You don't think people came across the land bridge?
yeah, but they had no communication with
But I'm
the rest of the world.
Europeans came to the East Coast.
Yes.
You went from talking
Asians
about the
came
short-faced bear
to the West Coast.
You went from
The
talking about the
short-faced
short
bear
bear that
halted-
kept people from coming across the land bridge.
Yes.
And then you were saying that all of a sudden you switched to thousands of years later, right?
Yeah.
To where they're coming on the West Coast. So
East
what was
Coast.
the East Coast rather?
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. No, I
But
got
what was the jump? And that's where I was wondering, like, because then you said there were a lot of discovery.
The
of
jump
animals
was
on the
thousands
West.
of years because the short-faced bear died off with most of the megafauna in North America. When a huge amount of
Okay. I see what he's saying. He's saying Europeans successfully conquered
way
North
later,
America
it
through
doesn't
the East
matter.
Coast,
They're too late.
whereas Asians couldn't get through because of the short-faced bear. Is that what you're trying to
Yeah.
get at?
Yeah,
All right.
but what were you saying as far as like the animals that were discovered on the East Coast? Or
He's saying that the
a
short-faced
majority-
bear
Oh,
itself was
because
a
of
majority
that
of the
book-
animals were on the.
Grizzly bears were in Florida. Like the amount of animals. So many people think about Africa for like big game hunting.
No, I was not following you at all.
Yeah, we're all figuring it out right now together. Even you driving in your
Podcast
car,
America.
listening to us at work.
Buckle up, here we
Yeah.
How
go.
many car accidents have been caused by just confusion?
Man.
So the amount of animals in North America when French, Spanish, European, when everyone landed, when it was a blitzkrieg on America, the best books, the things, the tales you can read of the fur trappers and the people that started to settle this area, and being guys that landed in Florida or people that landed a little bit south of them in Cuba. And they're these tropical islands, go up a little bit, and they landed in the Everglades and hiked into Central Florida, and grizzly bears mauled them. It's like, whoa. But that was the grasslands of America. And like we were talking earlier, I do think not having hooved animals, and like we were talking about, like having elephant or woolly mammoths stomping around, I do think it matters. That is nature. Like everyone wants to talk to you. You're like, oh, no, it doesn't affect me. But in your little neighborhood where you were in Mill Creek, well, you had coyotes, you had raccoons,
Black
you
bear.
had all of this, and they fed off garbage, they fed off cats, they fed off dogs, they fed off the water in the streams. There's cougars probably walking around,
Yeah, lynx.
so it's like it's important to think about where these animals and how you kind of sit in with it. And
The adaptation of large predator animals into urban environments is also kind of fascinating. Yeah. You know what I mean? The fact that we have a black bear wandering around Mill Creek, there's there's a bobcat or lynx, And one of the neighbors did have a no shit cougar on like a ring cam.
Jordan, would you say a black bear is a predator or just kind of like a scavenger omnivore?
It's a giant fucking raccoon.
No.
Cougar's
a black bear is a predator.
You think
without
so?
question.
What will they actually chase and tackle game?
Yes.
Will they
Yeah.
really? Okay.
Well, and they're really what they're going to do is wait till there's some.
They wait till it dies and then they.
But they're
but
they're omnivores
They're gonna
too.
wait. I think what their big fucking deal is catching deer having babies.
So they
and
can't
then
run.
eating that. You know what I mean? So I think they're doing a lot more of that kind of stuff.
That's like.
And they're also eating berries and everything.
So they don't do any
else,
real
and
hunting.
What does that mean though? I mean, they're doing more real hunting than I'm fucking doing. Like they're eating.
If they're snagging a fawn off the ground or a doe in labor, they're not having to run it down.
No.
Or stalk it down.
No,
you know what I mean?
But
it's not like a grizzly that will run down some prey.
But I think grizzlies do the same thing. I think grizzlies will eat other cubs.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah, they'll eat
cannibals.
the easiest opportunity they have.
Yeah.
But I think in absence of that, like I don't think a black bear will go seeking to run down a deer.
Don't make a mistake. A cow will eat a bird if they can get to it. I've seen it. There's video.
Shit.
Of like cows like eating birds. Like there's not like eating grass is not what you want to do.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? But if you have an
Unless you're
option,
made for it.
but even then, like a cow's made for it.
But all right, so back to the original point is I don't think of black bears as predators. I think of them as scavengers.
Till they don't want to be is a thing. They have that thing where they can
It's just
switch.
the mother and the cubs, right? If you're between mama and cubs, then she'll fight.
Yeah, but anything,
But they're not really
animal, you
looking to
piss
fight.
it off.
Yeah.
They're not like, oh, my baby's
But some
here,
are
I
just like
won't
again
fight.
back to the grizzlies. They're just territorial and mean.
Yes.
So they come
more-
looking to fight.
Yes. And they were so far spread out onto the East Coast. Like California's flag was the grizzly,
That's the West Coast.
right? Exactly.
Hang on.
If no,
You said
exactly.
East Coast.
Yeah. So if California's flag, the
Oh, I see
West
what you're
Coast is the grizzly,
But they
and
were
there
also-
are grizzlies
I see
on
what
the
you're saying.
East Coast.
They were ubiquitous across North America,
Yes.
and now they're not.
And so this is what I'm talking about bringing animals back. The things that grizzlies, wolves, elk, all these things that stretched across the Americas when America was the blitzkrieg of dominating this area, these animals were so prevalent, and it makes me think, so America in the past, if you look back, when the Younger Dryas happened, the amount of megafauna that died in North America and how much of animals are from America that went to Asia and Africa. Zebras are from horses. Horses came from North America. Camels came from North America. Woolly mammoths, saber-toothed tigers, cats that can run 80 miles per hour, deer that can run 80 miles per hour. They go to other areas in the world. North America is the last frickin' frontier. And I think it's interesting to think about bringing animals back that had, from my backyard, that had such an impact in the entire ecosystem of the entire world. That's the only reason I think this is an interesting subject.
But I guess why are you wanting to bring back a fucking predator?
T-Rex. I just want to know if it had feathers.
TikTok sucks, dude. Let's do something.
Let's do something interesting.
Yeah, go on.
The bringing back of a predator is crazy to me.
But then it's like, well,
'Cause
like
I- 'cause
management bring back the prey.
Well, I mean,
Let's balance the ecosystem. If you bring back one thing, let's balance it out. Let's
yeah, but
bring
that's
back the
what I'm
prey.
saying. The ultimate predator is already fucking here. Make
Yeah.
no mistake.
Yeah.
So why would you want to bring back another
Harmony.
one?
To bring nature more back in balance.
I
Oh,
think
I was
we need-
thinking
I
of it
think we
just
need
from a
more
cool
prey.
factor. But no, you're right. Like a woolly mammoth is a great species to start with because not only is it awesome, but it's food.
Yeah. It's harmony.
What do you think it tastes like?
Horrible.
You think so?
No part of
they're
that.
slow moving. They might have some good fat content. They're not out galloping across the plains.
Well, elephant ears I've had at the fair.
And they're delicious.
Those are delicious. Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Bring it on.
An elephant ear and a smoked turkey leg, boy, you are in business.
Well, I've heard elephant tastes really good
Really?
from people who have tried it.
Tastes like chicken.
Really? How many friends?
Not many.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what that tastes like, and that's part of the reason why, like, for me, it's like the Irish elk, because it's a big old ungulate, you know. It's just good
So
meat.
do you want to bring animals of the past back to eat them or to reintroduce them?
to eat them is really what I
Mainly.
want. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
And
no judgment. Yeah.
Because if they come back for a purpose of feeding,
It wins. Win.
it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Right? Like they come back and they're doing that. But if they come back for a purpose of eating, I don't like it as much, because like I have issues with them reintroducing bears. I have issues with them reintroducing wolves. But when it comes
And
down,
not being honest.
well, and not being honest and not being
Thank you.
opening it up to hunting, right? So if we're gonna allow that, we should also be able to hunt those things that are hunting our prey. And they're like, well, you know, to me it seems like there's a lot of fuckery
They don't
going
even
on.
say it exists.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
Transparency.
yeah, but
The
that's
whole
how
COVID.
all.
Yeah,
Yes,
I just
the
want
COVID problem. Yes.
transparency.
And-
Tell me
and
what's
we don't
really
have it.
happening, because I'm noticing it, and you're telling me something.
Yeah. And I that's my big issue with all of it. So like as we move forward into reanimating animals, because I guarantee you we will be doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, your backyard's destroyed. They're like, sir, there is no sign that woolly mammoths have been around here. Just a broken. Yeah.
They said by 2025 they'd have a living mammoth, right? Was that correct?
2025 or like 2030 or something.
I said this to you guys earlier. I think this is just like when they say global warming's going to kill each other. They've been saying this for so long.
True. Yeah.
Like in the 70s, they're like 83, you're
Well, what
all
was
going to die.
I
And then 83 hits, and they're like, 93 is actually the real year.
It's
And the
2012
same
now.
thing.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for a woolly mammoth. Are you kidding me? I'm not opposed. I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
This is a great conversation. You should have this.
Well,
Yeah. It was well. No, it's 2027.
27.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's already sliding out.
Dude, you should buy a seat at the keg.
There's a $60 million funding to move towards a 2027 de-extinction of woolly mammoths.
Is it out of Colorado?
A Dallas-based
Dallas.
company.
Yeah.
Texas. Okay.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah, I mean, but of course it's in fucking Texas, dude.
Yeah.
But
Or Oklahoma.
they'll let us fucking hunt them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, this could be a huge
What
commercial
if
hunting
it came
opportunity.
out that way and they were like, the only way you guys can hunt them is with spears.
Oh, dude. Bareback horses.
Just spear these fucking things. Good luck. Not having it.
You're all going to die.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's people. Look at the activities people engage in now for quote unquote leisure, like climbing Mount Everest, or like there's people pushing the limits of everything. Somebody is going to want, even if it's legal to hunt these things with a rifle, someone is going to want to go primitive style and make their own spearhead out of a fucking like volcanic rock and a alder pole. And literally ride a horse bareback and go try to kill a woolly mammoth, and he's going to get himself killed.
That's fine. I will post-interview him like Joe Rogan. I'm like, man, that was nuts. You grabbed onto his tusk or mane or insert other appendage here.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And
good
then
job.
he smashed your pelvis. How do you feel?
Yeah. He's like, I taste blue. Yeah. That sounds horrible. But that was life for those people. That's what's crazy, too, is to think about, like, these animals we're talking about bringing back. That was a humanoid species that was coalescing with these things. So this thing that and this blows my mind. We're talking about a point in like civilization and life where you're like, dude, we can bring this back. And for a group of humanoids, they were living next to it. This is something they were hunting. This is something they were being hunted by.
Yeah.
Replace whatever the animal is.
It's crazy to me to think if they can bring this back, people need to shut the fuck up about,
Cow farts?
Animals that are endangered.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you can bring back an animal.
It went extinct 12,000 years ago.
Yeah, but...
Well, that goes to like the Elon and like the Bezos thing. Like, you complain about how bad your planet is. So instead of trying to fix it, you rather leave it. It's the same thing. Instead of fixing the animals or the ecosystem, you rather restart. Don't you see parallels in that?
Yeah. Anyway, well, I think we might leave you guys. What time is it?
We're good. We can wrap it up right now. If you're enjoying the quality programming that's coming out of this garage,
Too many tacos.
make sure you share this with your friends and family because we are
Certainly your family.
shadow banned and censored. And
hell of a thing to bring up on.
Your mom loves us. Remember, driveways and moms half off until November.
Jesus loves you too.
Yes, he does. I'm gonna end it right there. Can I have everybody?